Hey everybody, and welcome to an Orchard Student Ministry small group. We are so glad that you have chosen to hang out with us tonight. Here's what you can expect. We will have a time of worship, so feel free to sing along. We'll have a message about a topic from the Bible, so pay attention to that. And then as soon as that message is over, we will break up into a small group time where we discuss the topic that we talked about and see how it applies to our lives. Again, we're so glad you're here. If you're new, make sure you tell your small group leader so that way they can welcome you and get you something for you, a free gift from us. Enjoy the service, guys.
Shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great
In the animal kingdom, gorillas often greet each other with a hug. Certain species of penguins propose to their partner with a pebble. Female lions do all the hunting for their family. Orcas live with their parents their whole lives. While every family is different and every family is unique, the truth is, they're still our fam.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 3 of our series called Fam. I love the title of this message series because in our house we love Cool Carl, and if you went on fall retreat, then you were introduced to who Cool Carl is. And so you should check him out on YouTube. He's a lot of fun. But in our house we say Fam Jam.
Fam Jam.
All the time. Our 5-year-old Georgie May, she loves that. So talking about our Fam Jam again. And so we're going to be talking about change in our family, and change can be so hard. I am a creature of habit. You can ask my husband Joe. I like to do the same things in the morning. First thing I do is get my coffee and read, and then at night he laughs at me, but just because I have a routine and I don't like change and I don't like moving, even though we've moved 6 times. Like, I don't know why we've moved 6 times. So I really don't like change at all. I don't like it when in high school if we got a new teacher in the middle of the year. So I don't like it at all. And so I just want to talk about a time in my life as a kid when I experienced change in a big way for the first time. And my dad had a lot of heart issues, and he still does to this day. But when I was probably 7 or so, he was 30 years old, and he never had a history of heart problems, and then all of a sudden he had something called atrial fibrillation. Maybe you've heard the term AFib before, but basically your heart doesn't pump strong like it's supposed to. It just kind of like flutters, and he had a really low heart rate in the 30s and 40s, and so he had to get something put in called a pacemaker, which is like this. Back then, when he first got it at 30 years old, it was like really big, and they just cut a little pocket in your chest and slide it in there, and it has all these crazy wires that go into your heart, and it makes your heart beat on rhythm. And so that was a huge change for our family, going from not having any kind of history of medical issues to his heart's not really working like it's supposed to. And so I can't tell y'all how many times he was in and out of the hospital as a child. I can't tell you how much anxiety, and even though at the time I didn't really understand what was going on because I was so young, I knew there was that vibe. You just know, like, something's not right, this isn't good. He's at the doctor all the time, and so that was a big deal. That was a big change for my family. And so maybe you've experienced change like that too. Maybe you've experienced a family member getting really, really sick, or maybe they got hurt, or maybe you had a sibling leave home to go off to college, and like they were your best buddy and y'all would ride bikes together, and now like they're off at college doing adult things. Or maybe you gained a stepdad or a stepmom, or maybe your parents got divorced. So those are some big changes in your life. And so, or maybe something painful happened in your life that's really hard for you to talk about. So I want to talk about those changes that you have experienced, because change is hard. Change is not easy. And so let's look at what the Bible says about change. The first verse we're going to read is Isaiah 43:2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. So God knows the changes that we're going through. And even like the verse says in Isaiah, when you feel like you're drowning, or when you feel like your family is just on fire, God knows what you're going through, and he cares about you so, so much. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Don't panic, I'm with you. There's no need to fear, for I'm your God. I'll give you strength. I'll help you. I'll hold you steady. Keep a firm grip on you." So when we're weak and we feel afraid and we feel nervous and we feel that anxiety and that hopelessness, God is with us. And because God sent his son Jesus to this earth, he's experienced all of this. And so just know that you have somebody who knows the pain that you're feeling. He has been through all of this. And he is that steady hand, like it says in Isaiah. He's that steady hand that will hold us up when the ground is shaking beneath us. He's got you. So God sounds too good to be true, right? I promise you guys, he is a good God and he loves you. You should be able to trust him. I know for me, like, whenever I'm going through stuff like this, he is the only person that I can trust. I love my husband Joe to death, but I don't need to put all my faith and trust in him because he's human and he cannot carry that burden of the feelings that I'm having if I'm going through a hard situation. When I do feel these things, anxious and scared and worried, we need to go to God first every single time. So just to finish my dad's story, he's still sick. Like, he still has a pacemaker. I think he's been through 5 different pacemakers. He's about 55, so he's had it for 25 years, and he's gotten different ones, and they've gotten smaller and smaller over the years, which is just, you know, medicine is so cool to me. But he still suffers from atrial fib, and he still has a hard time with that. And on top of that, when we moved to Colorado about 2 years ago, he got really sick. His lungs just filled up with fluid, and he's been on oxygen full time for the last 2 years, and he lost his job. And so you're probably wondering, how do we get good from these situations that we go through? And I think that will help us respond to situations when we go through hard times. Is we need to see the good. Okay, what good can I get out of this? Because if we're just like moping around and we're feeling sorry for ourselves, or like we just feel like our life stinks in the situation that we're in, we need to figure out what good can come from this. And just an example with my dad, since I was a kid, I've been able to share his story with people, and he was always on my prayer request list at church and school, and he was always prayed for. And so when he would come out of all the surgeries that he's been through, and things were so much better after his surgeries, then God was getting the glory for that. And so that's the good that I saw in my dad's story. And so I just want you to think about what good can come out of your story. And I don't want to blow off whatever situation you're going through, because I know some of you, and I know some of your stories, and I know the difficult situations that you have walked through or you are walking through right now, and I cannot imagine, and my heart just breaks for you guys. And so maybe right now you're like, Ashley, I can't see anything good out of this situation. So maybe the only good that you can see through this is knowing that God is with you. God is with you when changes happen in your family. Also, think about your other family members. With my family, my mom, it hit way harder for her than it did for me. I was a little kid. I really didn't understand everything that my dad was going through. I just knew that my mom was scared, my family members were scared, and didn't know why my dad was going through all of this. And so pray for them, encourage them, be a light to your family, be the positivity that they need during the hard times that you guys are going through right now. So this is our bottom line once again. When your family changes, God is with you. So I just want to encourage you, talk to your small group leader tonight, talk to even your parents or somebody that you trust in your family that you can speak with about the things that you're feeling, because I know that it's hard, but you need to talk to somebody. Love you guys, and I hope you have a great week.